Marcus Rebello here for Cage Side Press with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Vicente Luque. Stephen, I found your comments very fascinating this week. The fact that you took inspiration from Jorge Masvidal's resurgence in his career. What was the whole thought process behind that and your mindset behind looking at Jorge, someone who you have fought in the past as well, and taking inspiration for the fact of his, crazy career turnaround?
Yeah, I'm kind of like where he was not too long ago. I'm coming off of a loss, several losses back, 2 losses back to back. But watching him, knowing I beat him at Madison Square Garden in UFC 217, and him, going out there, putting in the work, got 2 good finishes. I think a win after Diaz could be up for a title contention. It gives me inspiration that I can do the same thing. I go out there, put in the work, and finish these guys that I have coming up, maybe 2 opponents. I'll be back, fighting for a title maybe this time next year.
Speaking of MSG, you fought here before. Hasn't always been the result you've wanted, obviously against Tyron Woodley. Against Vicente Luque, who's an up-and-comer this Saturday. And it's a sort of like a, guardianship fight, so to speak. You're sort of keeping guard of the division. They sort of have you pegged as that with Vicente Luque's emergence. Do you think your experience is definitely going to play a huge factor in this fight, being that Vicente Luque's never faced someone of your caliber?
100%. This is Madison Square Garden. Definitely want to put on a show. He called me out after his fight against Mike Perry, which goes to show I'm still relevant in the division. But he's very tough, and I think his goal is to, I was in his shoes not too long ago, trying to work my way up the rankings, fighting Jake Ellenberger and Johnny Hendricks. So, I understand why he's calling me out, but that said, it's the wrong guy to call out, for sure. He's got great Dutch kickboxing. Of course, it's like that classic kickboxer versus karate stylist that you're going to see out there this weekend. But, he's a very tough opponent. I'm ready for a 3-5 in a round war.
And finally, obviously, with your relationship with Chris Weidman, he didn't get the result he wanted in Boston against Dominic Reyes. But there was a video that came out, and I found it pretty emotional to watch, was of Chris Weidman talking about his son, asking him about whether he should tell his friends at school whether he won or lost. Obviously, with your relationship with Chris, how tough is that for you to see on the outside, being that close with Chris and having no control over his result?
It definitely breaks my heart, but we're both warriors, You win some and you lose some. So he's got good people around him, good family, including me and my family, to bring him back up, to get him back where he needs to be, to step out there and do what he needs to do in the octagon again. I don't think he should retire. I think he's got a few fights left in him. I mean, the ones that he's lost, he was winning. Yoel Romero, he was winning that fight, got caught. Jacare Souza was winning, just like me and Anthony Pettis. I was beating him, just ended up getting caught. So definitely, I took some time off. He's going to take some time off. He's on vacation right now with the family, just healing up. But yeah, man, it breaks my heart, but I've been there. And he's a warrior, and he'll be back. I know that.
And finally, before I leave you, what's your prediction? You talked earlier about how the fight might play out. What's your prediction for Saturday night?
I never go out there predicting a knockout. I always visualize my hand being raised at the end of the fight. So that's what I visualize, man. Me winning this Saturday with my hand raised.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Stephen. Best of luck Saturday.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.